Hi, this is Kenny Albert. You're listening to the Broadway Hat Podcast with your host, Kyle Hall, the #1 podcast for all things Rangers hockey.
Welcome back to the Broadway Hat Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Hall, and the NHL playoffs are finally here after a very long regular season. It felt like it lasted forever. Finally, we're back to playoff hockey. Fire up Bob O'Reilly tonight. It is back. The Rangers, Devils, what else can you ask for? The Hudson River rivalry, the Battle of the Hudson, however you want to call it. For the 7th time in history of this rivalry, the two teams will meet in the NHL playoffs, and what a series. I mean, these two teams have been fantastic all season long. The Devils basically didn't lose until Thanksgiving and then had a little bit of a rough patch, but are finished the season strong. The Rangers obviously had a slow start to the season and have been absolutely on fire since mid-December with the Jacob Trouba helmet toss. But this Devils team, I mean, they are a very, very good team. You look at this team, you got Jack Hughes, 99 points, just an absolute superstar now. Nico Heischer's had another great season, their captain. His biggest thing was staying healthy. He played 81 games this year, so he finally had a full season of health. Guys, just under a point per game, 80 points this season in 81 games. Dougie Hamilton, finally a defenseman that they signed for a big contract, finally paying off. He had 22 goals this season. I think that's a Devils team record for a defenseman. 74 points. Jesper Bratt's unbelievable player, too. 32 goals there, 73 points for him. I mean, Dawson Mercer, 27 goals. Tatar, 20 goals. This team's loaded with offensive talent. But the biggest thing, I think, going forward here is face-offs to the Rangers. And obviously that's where they struggled last year. It's the reason why they got Vincent Trocheck, who won 56% of his face-offs in the season. The Rangers, I wrote an article earlier this year for Belly Sports about could this be the year the Rangers finally go over 50% in the face-off circle. I think it's been over a decade since they've done that, and they finished 49.5%, so just under 50%. Mika finishes just under 50, but Trocheck has been the guy, 56%. I think Gallant's really going to rely on him in this series to win some big draws because the Devils are a very good face-off team. You have three really good guys. You have Nico Hischier coming in at just under 54%, Eric Haula at 54%, and then returning from injury is Michael McLeod, who missed the end of the regular season, but he's apparently back in practice this week. He won 60.6% of his faceoffs this year. So three very, very, very good faceoff guys. And you look at the Rangers, you know, Mika just under 50%. Goodrow took a little bit of a step back this year, and Heedle's obviously had his struggles. The one guy on the Devils that does struggle in the faceoff is Jack Hughes, just 35%. So, you know, that's the guy that probably gets you a lot of offensive zone faceoffs from Hughes, probably not a lot of defensive zone faceoffs, but the Rangers got to take advantage of any matchup they get with Hughes to win those draws. Because as we know in playoff hockey, possession's one of the biggest parts of the entire game. We saw it last year in the Tampa series where the Rangers were just dominating in the faceoff circle. It's really one of the main reasons why they went out and got Vincent Trocheck and got rid of Ryan Strome. So I think faceoffs could be a huge point here. Obviously, the goaltending matchup as well. Igor Shesterkin's been on fire since March 1st. 198 goals allowed, the 930-something save percentage. He's been fantastic. But, this year also, Vanecek's been great for the Devils. Winning 33 games. He went 33-11-4, finished with a 911 save percentage, a 245 goals allowed. So it's going to be a great hopefully last year's playoff experience helps Igor. And I think the Rangers still have a slight edge over Vanecek into the season a little bit on a lull after he had a really good start. But, obviously goaltending is so important in this league. And Igor finished the season with a 916 save percentage and a 248 goals allowed. So, and 37 wins. So the second consecutive season over the 35 win mark, and he actually surpassed last year's win total too. So win the Vezina, and the next year he finishes up with more wins. So great back-to-back season for Igor Shesterkin again, who started off slow but really came on towards the end of the year. And the Rangers needed. He's getting hot at the exact right point. And this team right now, I think, you look at the lines, we had the roll in the lines, and we had Bill Pidto on to preview it, which is great. We love having Bill on. I think it's his third time on with Bill. So we were previewing talking about the lines, and Bill was saying, like, what else do you want? Like, what else could you want from this Rangers lineup? You have Patrick Kane and Tarasenko now in the top six. You have this bottom four, which is a great shutdown line. Can they shut down some of these big guys in the Devils? Your defensive pairings, Lindgren's back, hopefully healthy, and he stays healthy for the playoffs. Lindgren and Fox, your top pair. Then you got Keandre Miller, who took a step forward this year. Jacob Trouba isn't playing great. And then the third pairing, I think, and Mikola has been a great pickup. I think, kind of a secondary thought in that Blues trade, but he's been fantastic for the Rangers. Pairing him with Schneider, who's been fantastic all year and a solid defenseman. There's not a lot of holes in this Rangers lineup, and the kid line's getting hot right now. I'm very excited for this series. I think the biggest thing, obviously, I think is faceoffs and speed. The Devils have hurt the Rangers with speed this year. We've seen a couple times their matchups where the Devils basically just the Rangers can't keep up with them at certain times. And I think, especially these home games in New Jersey, there's gonna be a lot of energy in that building. They kind of just that first wave that comes at you, you just gotta take it as it comes. And the Rangers have to kind of weather that wave, play their game, and then settle in maybe the second period. Hopefully, come in the first period, tie it up, or maybe maybe you get a goal that Vanacek lets up a soft one or something. But I think weather that wave and then kind of get your game going towards the end of the game and really wear them down. I think the Rangers are heavier than them. I think the Rangers play a more physical game than the Devils. I think that maybe you get exposed that bottom pairing on the Devils. We'll see if Luke Hughes is in the lineup. Another wrinkle now. The Michigan standout and unbelievable, another Hughes player, of course, in the NHL, but he could be the best one of all three of them. And he came in, he scored a goal in the last regular season game, and I think he only played 2 games towards the end of the year. So we'll see if they use him. They also have, our old friend Brendan Smith still hanging around there in New Jersey, so we'll see what Lindy Ruff does there, but what a series. What a great series it's going to be. And we'll be bringing coverage all series long. Hopefully we'll have someone else on at the end of the week, too. We'll have a double episode this week if we can try to get someone else on and kind of break down games 1 and 2 before we head into the weekend, give some content, some playoff talk before the weekend starts. And, like I said, we have Bill Pidto from MSG on. His hat trick episode, his 3rd time on the show. He's always such a great guest. Great to have him on the breakdown of the series. And also, you'll get some Nick talk in there as well. Sorry for any Net fans or non-basketball fans, but little Knicks talk, who they won Game 1 on Saturday, too. What an exciting game. They almost blew that. But so the Knicks are up 1-0 in their series. The Rangers are in action. It's a great time at MSG. They're moving Billy Joel around for playoff games. It's always a good thing. It's always crazy when Billy Joel gets moved, so it's a big deal. So, but playoff hockey is back. But before we send to an interview with Bill, here's a brief message from a couple of our sponsors.
Caldera Labs. Say goodbye to generic face wash on your counter because Caldera Lab is here to save the day when it comes to your skin. Backed by a leading clinical trial where 9 out of 10 men experience healthier and visible improved skin, Caldera Lab has the tools to unlock your best first impression and confidence. Today we have an exclusive offer for you, our audience, so you can try it for yourself. And you can see why so many men trust Caldera Lab with their skincare needs. Use our code BROADWAY at calderalab.com for 20% off their best product. Listen, as I'm getting older, in my 30s now, you got to take care of your skin. And these guys are out there helping you take care of your skin. They're helping you with your wrinkles. They're keeping they're keeping you young. They're keeping you young. They keep you look good. Caldera Labs creates a high-performance men's skincare product by combining pharmaceutical-grade science along with nature's purest and most potent ingredients. Kicking off their stellar skincare selection, we have the Regimen Bundle, a twice-a-day routine to transform your skin. Inside this bundle, you'll find the Clean Slate, the Base Layer, and the Good. The Clean Slate is where you start your day. It's balancing cleanser that uses gentle plant-based cleansing, leaving all skin types exceptionally refreshed. The Base Layer is a nutrient-dense, fortifying moisture that hydrates your skin and absorbs fast, leaving you with a matte finish so you can start your day confidently. And the Good is your go-to at night before bed, and it's clinically proven multifunctional serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. How can you not beat that? As you age, you might notice more fine lines and wrinkles. It's a sign of aging, unfortunately. This is the opposite of what any guy wants, really what anyone wants. And the more you neglect your skin, the more visible this will become over time. It's time to control your skin and take these easy steps. Ready to take your skin to the next level with Caldera Lab? Look no further than the Icon. The Rejuvenating Eye Serum is here to help address the 3 most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. The 3 worst things you can have. Committed to transparency, sustainability, and excellence, Caldera Lab is on the mission to better men's skincare around the world, priding itself on clean ingredients and doing right by its customers and planet we live in. Caldera Lab is certified B Corporation as well as a member of the 1% for the planet. Through uncompromised craftsmanship, exceptional ingredients, and rigorous transparency, Caldera Lab is here to upgrade your skin and confidence. So make sure to get 20% off today by using our code Broadway at calderalab.com. That's 20% off at calderalab.com by using the code Broadway. And we're also joined by our friends over at Kanzuri. Fellas, have you ever wished you were a little bit taller? Maybe you matched on Tinder and her profile said must be 6 feet tall. Maybe your date wears heels and you just can't because you're just not, or she just can't because you're just not tall enough. Well, Short Kings, today's sponsor, has you covered. Kanzuri makes shoes that make you up to 2.8 inches taller without anyone noticing. Look, girls get heels, makeup, and push-up bras. Why can't men get a boost in confidence as well? We're all the same height laying down, if you get what I mean. For a limited time offer, our listeners can get up to 15% off every order with your code Broadway at kanzuri.com. The site is already 30% off, so with our code, you save an extra 15% off. That's 45% off your entire order. You're basically getting these shoes for free. So make sure you go show the support to the show and go check out kanzuri.com. That's CONZURI.com and use the code Broadway. Listen, if you can get a little extra edge in the dating game, I'm out of it way now. I don't even want to think about getting into a dating game ever again. But listen, if you're in there, you're looking for make a good impression, or maybe you're taking a picture with some of your guys at home. Listen, all my friends at home are over 6 feet tall, so maybe the next group shot I have to get these shoes on to make sure that I can fit in a little bit. They don't have to adjust the lens at all. But make sure you go on there, check them out. Not only does Kanzuri shoes make you up to 2.8 inches taller, but they're also incredibly stylish and comfortable. These are not all-man shoes. They're not Velcro shoes. They're not ugly, ugly shoes. You'll get compliments in them. Even if they don't even make you taller, you get compliments no matter what. They have styles for every occasion, smart, casual, sporty, you name it, they got it. The height insoles are actually built into the shoe, so no one can tell that you're hiding some secret height boost in there. The brand is also hidden on the shoes and the packaging, so it's literally the ultimate height hack. Life short, you don't have to be. It's time to level up the playing field, my guys. Maybe update that dating profile to 6 feet. Kanzuri is an absolute game changer for you in your dating life and your regular life in general. So make sure you go on the website, use our discount code Broadway, save that 15% off. You get the 45% off total. Like I said, it's basically free, so make sure you go check it out. Kanzuri.com, CONZURI.com, and make sure you use that code Broadway today. All right, we now bring back to the show our good friend, his third time on the show. It's your hat trick episode. Bill Pidto, thanks for coming on, buddy.
So I made the cut for the third time is the charm, huh?
Third time's a charm. You are a fan favorite on and off Twitter. I mean, Ranger fans love you. And what a season, huh?
Well, I the thing is the way this goes is that now is when it matters. You know, when the way these sports go now is you have this great regular season and, it all comes down to what happens in the playoffs. And I just think that last year's overachievement kind of changes the expectations for this year. Last year, no one expected them to get to the conference finals. It was kind of an outside-the-box run for them. This year, obviously, they fortified with all those additions. It's going to be really, really interesting. And, of course, it's the Devils in round one. So this is going to just be potentially a magical time for sure.
Yeah, the Battle of the Hudson, it's the 7th time these two teams are playing each other in the playoffs, the first time since the conference finals in 2012. Can you believe that has been a decade since we've had Rangers-Devils playoffs?
No, I can't believe it. I mean, the Devils, boy, they've taken huge strides this year. I don't know if you guys saw, I'm sure all of your listeners and fans and viewers know about Luke Hughes all of a sudden coming out of nowhere and in the season finale for the Devils scoring the game-winning goal. I mean, maybe he is now another weapon that they have.
Yeah, could have gone without seeing him.
Developing their young talent, right? So, wow, maybe he's going to be a factor too.
I could have gone without seeing him do that too. I was hoping that he maybe struggled the first couple games. They wouldn't play him in the playoffs. I'd rather see my guy Brendan Smith back there than Luke Hughes. That kid's a game changer.
Well, that game winner against the Caps was amazing. He also had a secondary assist on an earlier goal. So Devils are young and they're fast, and that's going to be the challenge. What's also interesting is that Valley and John Giannone on the postgame show the other night in the season finale were talking about Vanecek's numbers, and Vanecek's regular season numbers in net are almost as good or equal to Igor Shesterkin's. I had no idea about that. I thought, hey, the Rangers have a huge edge in goal, and maybe they do because Shesterkin's got postseason experience. But Vanecek's regular season numbers have been fantastic.
Yeah, he got to a really hot start. I think he's slowed down a little bit, but he he was unbelievable for the first 4 months of the season. I mean, look at the Devils. They got off that start. They didn't lose almost for a whole month.
Right. No, that helps. That helps pad things out. That's for sure.
The good thing for the Rangers is Igor's found his game since March 1st. He's been unbelievable. I think he's got a 198 goals allowed, and he's 11-3. So he's finally found him. And the Rangers need. I mean, he's the, the quote Reggie Jackson. He's the straw that stirs a drink there for the Rangers. If Igor is going, I mean, he's it.
Well, to take your analogy a little further, we're going to call him Mr. May, Mr. June, or what are we calling him?
If he wins a cup, we can call him Mr. June all day long.
All right, good. I tell you, these playoffs, I mean, the Bruins, as you probably know, the last President's Trophy winner, the last time the best regular season team won the cup was the Blackhawks all the way back in 2013. So anybody that thinks that they know what's going to happen, forget it. Yeah, that's what makes this so amazing, and to me, more exciting in many ways than the other sports, because you have no idea what's going to happen in these playoff series, especially in the first round.
I mean, we've seen the Rangers make a run as 8 seeds before. I mean, you never know. As long if you got the goalie, the Rangers had Henrik Lundqvist. They got Igor now. Anything could happen. We saw last year that run. But from this year, who's your biggest? Is there any guy you have a takeaway from this year that either impressed you or someone that you didn't expect to have the season they did?
I know everybody goes back to that Jacob Trouba moment when he threw his helmet and the whole season turned around. I know he's the captain. I don't know that people expected that type of moment. I think it's very unique in a season where you can go back to a singular moment that turned things around, but they were turning the wrong way, as we all know, there in December. Trouba chucked his helmet, went right to the locker room, and the team was totally different from that point on. I didn't know the kind of leader Trouba was going to be. Obviously, we don't know what he's like behind the scenes, but that public show of leadership in many ways has totally turned things around. So that kind of surprised me. Rarely, again, do you have one moment that you can go back to where things completely turned around, and that was the one moment.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, it just looked like a frustration thing. Like, oh man, this is like that could have been the ending of the season. That could have been the downfall. That could have been it. Like, let's turn our sticks in. This is it. But they rallied since then, and I mean, this season, looking back on it, I mean, I got like Trocheck. I think we knew that he was going to be a good player coming in, but I think he exceeded expectations for people. And then I had a lightning storm I started on Twitter last week when I asked if Panarin was the greatest free agent signing in Rangers history. And I feel like most people agree with me, but his third 90-point season, and the only year he didn't have 90 points was a COVID year, and he had 1.3 points a game then. So, I mean, he's been worth every penny so far.
Yeah, and I think the Rangers got Trocheck for now. Strome was really good with Panarin. I don't know that he was really good when it counted in the playoffs, or as good as the Rangers needed him or hoped him to be. This is Trocheck's time, playoff time. And I think now is why they got Trocheck and let Strome go to Anaheim. Mm-hmm. So as for Panarin, this guy's an elite player. And again, we're at a point with this team and how we evaluate things that it's pretty much all going to come down to how things go here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and last year, he had the struggles in the playoffs, and obviously people still talk about that a little bit. He did have the huge goal there to win it in Game 7, but, there was some pockets there where he kind of went missing. And like Trocheck, like you said, 56% of the faceoff circle, how important that is in the playoffs. And the Devils have 3 really good faceoff guys, so he's going to be a key factor in the series going forward.
I just think it's his physicality, too. Strome, I think, got out-physicaled when it mattered in playoff time, and I think Trocheck, the reason why they got him, and I'm being repetitive, is for right now, mm-hmm. for the playoffs.
Now, you talked about the Devils' speed before. Do you think that's the biggest factor in the series? Like, what's your biggest factor coming into the series?
They just come at you. But the one thing, and we've talked about this at work a little bit, Devils are young, have no experience. Is that a plus or a minus? I think it might be a plus, because I think if it goes the Devils' way early, the Rangers, with all the expectations, might start to press. I think the Devils, in many ways, are playing with house money, and that could be to their advantage. The mental aspect of this, when you don't have any basis for expectation or frustration, I think the Devils, in many ways, are playing with house money.
There's one wish for this series that I have, and I hear from Devil fans all the time. Jack Hughes is unbelievable. I mean, he is one of the best young hockey players. He's going to be I watch USA Hockey all the time. I love the fact that he's an American-born kid, and he's going to be hopefully winning gold medals for Team USA. But while he's on the Devils, temper some expectations for him a little bit. But I would love to see Kakko somehow have a bigger impact in this series. I don't know how it's going to happen, but just for that Devil fans to kind of get off Kakko's back from that draft pick. I love to see him score a nice little game-winning goal against the Devils this series.
Well, the line of Lafreniere, Hedl, and Kakko has really picked it up, and it gives the Rangers yet now a third line. And the fourth line is a beautiful trio in terms of how they're put together with Goudreau and Vesey and Mott. So the acquisitions of Kane and Tarasenko really made this lineup fit perfectly in my estimation. You got 4 lines that fit. You got a solid decor. I don't know what else anybody could want if you're a Ranger fan in terms of what they are putting on the ice for these playoffs. You got the goalie, you got the D. Hopefully Lindgren's going to be okay. You got the line slotted perfectly. I don't know what else you could want.
It's crazy seeing Patrick Kane out there in a Ranger jersey, huh?
It is. I don't know that. I don't. We'll see how he isn't. I don't know if he's 100% healthy or. But hey, they got him, and you know what the thing is? They didn't. Chris Drury has done a remarkable job. He hasn't given up a lot for these things. Didn't give up much for Kane. I know he traded Semi-Blade back to St. Louis for Tarasenko, but he's done a remarkable job in my estimation. Not only last year when he got Kopp and Vetrano, but this year as well.
And those two guys, Kane and Tarasenko, I mean, they are playoff. I mean, Kane's got 3 cups and Tarasenko's got a Stanley Cup. They are playoff tested there. Not only are they playoff tested, they come up big in the playoffs too. They are known big playoff goal scorers. So hopefully that pays off as well.
Yeah. I just don't know if you're a Ranger fan, if you could want anything more.
And then I got to sneak a Nick question here for you, Bill. I'm a big Nick fan. We've talked Knicks before on the show. I mean, how exciting the Knicks team. I mean, hopefully Julius Randle comes back. He's banged up a little bit. They have I think it's 3 days between game 1 and game 2. So maybe he misses game 1, comes back. But I mean, this Knicks group it's fun again to watch them.
I know they play with great joy. Emmanuel Quickley is so much fun to watch. Jalen Brunson is so easy to root for. Brunson's exceeded expectations. We all said, yeah, that's going to be an upgrade, but little did any of us know that this is going to be a huge upgrade. And in the playoffs, you need that point guard. And last year, Utah against Dallas, Brunson did a number on Donovan Mitchell. And you got the subplot or maybe the main plot of Knicks go up against the guy Mitchell that they didn't end up getting in the summer. I mean, there's storylines everywhere you look. The one thing you have to remember, Cleveland's got the top defensive team in the entire league. Mobley and Jared Allen down low make things very difficult. So that's going to be a challenge for the Knicks. And as you mentioned, if Randall can't go in game 1, game 2 is Tuesday. So he's got Sunday and Monday to rest and most of Tuesday because it's a night game. So maybe I don't have any idea what his status is, but maybe if they rest him, the extra 3 days would really help him.
Just walk across the street, go check out the training room, see how the ankle, see how he looks in there, tell him, hey, listen, it's go time, buddy. It's time to go. And he's had his struggles in the playoffs too, so he's got a lot to prove too, Randall.
But he plays every single night. And in this era of load management, of guys wanting to be traded, taking time off, not playing, Randall plays every single night. He was on pace for all 82. He played 77. He missed the last 5 games. But that's the one thing about Randall. If he can play at all, I'm sure he's going to play.
And Jalen Brunson, not only was he a fan favorite already, but now he's showing up to the Garden wearing Patrick Kane jerseys. So, I mean, Ranger fans love him even more.
Well, he went to high school in Chicago, and he was there when the Blackhawks were winning championships. So he loves the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I guess he's a huge Patrick Kane fan. As soon as he saw they traded for Patrick Kane, I think he reached out to him. And the next day, I think he was the first guy who actually owned a Patrick Kane Ranger jersey.
Right. Jalen is so aware of what's going on, though. He knew that would be great corporate synergy as well to put on that jersey.
I'm sure. He went down right to the equipment guys and said, I need one of those right now.
Yeah, it was good. It was he got a lot of mileage out of it, that's for sure.
All right, Bill, before I let you go, give me predictions on both series. Who wins the Devils Ranger series and who wins the Knicks series?
Knicks in 7, Rangers in 7. Got to go with the teams. How about that?
I love it.
Can't come on here and say otherwise.
I absolutely love it.
And that maximizes things for our network, by the way. MSG, we got pregame, postgame for every playoff game that these teams play, even if we're not doing the game itself. So keep that in mind. Half-hour pregame, hour postgame, MSG, Knicks, Rangers, even if we're not broadcasting the game itself.
So no matter what, you'll get your local coverage no matter what. And are you going to do 150s during that or no? Because I need some 150s.
We're doing 150s for the games that we have. If we don't have the game, we're not going to do the 150.
Gotcha. All right. We might need a 150 on Twitter or something. Or me and you might need to go live on Twitter just for a little bit, just so Ranger fans and Knick fans get your face.
All right, you put the clips together. We'll do it.
All right, Bill. Thanks so much for coming on as always, and hopefully we get you back on again soon.
All right, go Rangers! Great to see you.
Thank you so much, Bill, for coming on. What a busy guy. He's got Knicks, he's got Rangers. The guy's on TV 24/7, and with these Knicks and Ranger games going back to back pretty much for the rest of the whole few weeks now, Bill will be in the studio constantly doing his 150s. So make sure you follow him on Twitter too. Great Twitter follow. He likes to interact with fans. He's fantastic in that regard. If you have a great video for the 150, make sure you tag him in it. I've seen him put up plenty of people's videos that tag him on Twitter and stuff, their kids or youth hockey or youth basketball, some kind of crazy play. So make sure you reach out to him that way. But he's an unbelievable guy. I cannot thank him enough for always taking the time to come on the show and join us. And that does it for episode 128 of the Broadway Hat Podcast. Playoff hockey is here. Get ready. I'm pumped. You got to be pumped. Fire up the Who. Fire up whatever gets you all lit up inside because playoff hockey is here. And make sure you go and follow the show because we'll be bringing you content all playoff long. Make sure you go and follow us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the show. Leave us a 5-star review there. Every 5-star review, we do receive $1 donated to Alex's Lemonade Foundation. So please go on there, take a moment of your time, and leave us a 5-star review. Make sure you go and follow us on Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review there as well. You can find the show on Google Play, Amazon Music, Pandora, anywhere you get your podcast, you can find us there. Make sure you're also following along us on Twitter, on my personal Twitter account at KHallNY. We'll be bringing constant Ranger news, constant Ranger updates. Make sure you follow the show on Twitter at Broadway Hat Pod. Make sure you follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at the Broadway Hat Podcast. And also make sure you find us on YouTube at the Broadway Hat Podcast, where we post full episodes, clips of the show, other content, cool stuff, videos, Ranger videos, and everything else. So make sure you go follow us there on YouTube as well. And let's go Rangers. We'll see you next week.